Copyright applies to the following verbal and written content. With the exception of the content owner, complete content excerpts and links may be used for nonprofit purposes only, provided that full and clear credit is given to the following names wherein: Diary Single Woman, Diary of a Single Woman, and Miss Anonymous. Appropriate and specific direction to the original content must be used. All rights are reserved. I'm Miss Anonymous, and I'm sharing with you my true diary stories. If you liked 50 Shades of Grey and Zane books, then you will love what I'm going to tell you. What sets me apart is that all of my stories are 100% true. After sharing a few of my dating experiences with close friends, I soon realized that my life was far from normal. My experiences are unbelievable. Trust me, both men and women will enjoy my tell-all diary. You never know what to expect. Welcome to my Diary of a Single Woman. It was day 4 of the new year 2014, and I just had my very first sexual encounter for the year. I was trying to get further into 2014 before the panties started coming off. And actually, I was doing very well with my good girl New Year's resolution. That was until January 4th threw me a curveball. I'm going to call this encounter the 007 experience. Fasten your seatbelt and pay close attention to this interesting story. On New Year's Eve, I received an email from a man I had a fling with a little over 4 years ago. I was online checking my emails from a dating site as I sat in the lobby awaiting my vehicle to be serviced. Thank goodness for Wi-Fi, and thank goodness I decided to get my vehicle serviced on New Year's Eve. I was in and out of there in no time. I read the email in my inbox and glanced at this profile picture. I thought, no way, this guy can't still be online looking for dates. I guess I was in no position to talk as I scrolled through his profile. I kind of knew it was him because he had the exact same motorcycle as his main profile picture, and no other pictures were on his page. To make a long story short, he sent a recent picture of himself to my personal email, and my assertion was confirmed. It was him, and let's call him Bond. After the confirmation, I started jogging my memory, trying to remember exactly why I ended communications with him 4 years ago. But I couldn't quite remember. I also wasn't sure if I had sex with him or not. I know, that's a damn shame. I recall that we went out to dinner a few times, and I do believe we had sex once. But then he started acting strange, like he was married and lying about being single strange. Back during that time, 4 years ago, I would have never knowingly dated a married man, but now I capitalize on it. I've been tricked a couple of times and entered serious relationships with men who I thought was single, but surprisingly found out 10 months or so later that they were married. After a few more unintentional run-ins with married men, I decided that cheating men were here to stay so long as we breathe air on this earth. So now I capitalize on it. I guess you can call me a woman scorned, or maybe I just got smart about it. Anyways, back to reading my emails. So, Bond asked me out for lunch? And trusting my instinct, I told him, I don't think things ended well for us, so let's just leave it at that. Bond then replied, well, it's been many years, and people can change. We exchanged more emails, and he convinced me to go out to lunch. Only that I didn't make it to lunch because the mall was calling my name after I left the auto repair shop. Plus, as almost always, I had double booked myself for another date that evening. That's a whole other story. I'll save the details of that date for another time. So, no can do New Year's Eve with Bond. The next day, I received a Happy New Year's text message from Bond. Then on January 4th, I received an email and a text message at 8:21 in the morning from him asking, what time are we doing breakfast? I made it clear that I wanted to dine out. I wasn't cooking a damn thing. I learned my lesson from my birthday weekend. You'll just have to listen to that audio excerpt to relate. I thought to myself, this is an unexpected surprise. Breakfast sounds fun. However, I was contemplating capitalizing on my soon-to-be date. But I said, nah, I will be a good girl and simply go out for brunch. Bond was taking me to a wonderful brunch at an upscale hotel. The thought slightly ran through my mind that the reason Bond chose an upscale hotel was because he wanted to get a room afterwards. Oh, and his text message sort of gave me that impression when he said, I know you will be looking hot. This brunch idea at a hotel had me wondering about his intentions. Nah. He said in his email that people can change, so I took it for what it was, a nice Saturday brunch. We met at the hotel at 10:30 a.m. Bond had already reserved a table for us. I complied with his text message, and I was looking sexy for the occasion, despite the snow and ice on the ground. I was glad that we decided to do brunch because I had another date at 4:00 p.m. And this date was important because I really liked the guy. We had been on a date about 2 days ago, a nice dinner, no sex. Well, he tried to invite himself over to my place for movie night the next day, but I put my foot down and I said no. Besides, for some reason, I found him intriguing and was drawn to his intelligence. He had a master's degree and was close to my age. For some reason, I wanted to take my time with him. Who knows? My 4 p.m. date might be the one to lock my sweet paradise down forever. Well, at least for the year. But it's way too early to tell. The time lapse between brunch and 4 p.m. would allow me enough time to do my grocery shopping, relax, and get ready. The brunch was lovely. I had my omelet to order, spinach, mushrooms, bell peppers, tomatoes, turkey sausage, and cheddar cheese. My freshly made Belgian waffle melted in my mouth. I also sampled other delicious items. Bond and I talked for about 2 hours as we sat at the table enjoying our brunch and catching up on all the things that had changed for us over the years. Well, of course, I left out the juicy stuff. That's just between me and my diary. Oh, and of course, you all who are listening out there. I liked the new Bond. I don't recall him being this talkative before. He was charming and very engaged in our conversation. We talked about everything, but never ever uttered a word about sex or anything to that nature. The conversation was strictly platonic. The morning had been a pleasant surprise. As Bond paid for our meals, I took one last sip of my coffee and put on my warm coat. The chef told us goodbye, and we said the same to him. As we walked through the revolving door, we both commented on how nice the brunch and hotel was. Then Bond said, "This hotel is so nice, it makes me want to see what the rooms are like." Aha! I knew there was a hidden agenda. What do I do? How do I reply? I knew that my response would either get me laid while laying on soft hotel sheets, or would land me in the grocery store on aisle 3, picking up coffee creamer, fulfilling my original grocery shopping plans. I guess my response took so long that Bond suggested we walk back inside in the hotel to discuss further. It was freezing cold outside, and the warm heat in the hotel was very convincing. Wait, my 4 p.m. date, my 4 p.m. date, I kept repeating in my head. So, standing there in the lobby, I responded, "Do you want to get a room and see? I bet that would be nice. But I didn't bring anything with me, and I need to go to the grocery store. Plus, if we stay in a room, we will be in a lot of trouble." Bond said, "What kind of trouble?" I said, "Bad, good trouble." Bond replied, "I am convinced now. Why don't you do your running around and I will get us a room?" I said, "Okay, see you soon." I made a mad dash to the grocery store and made it home to put everything up. I packed an overnight bag and got my lie straight for my 4 p.m. date. "Hi, it's me. Would we be able to push our date to 6 or 6:30? I was already thinking of the lie to tell Bond that would allow me to escape the hotel by 5:30 p.m. I had some running around to do, and I have to do something for my mom." "Oh, you are meeting up with your friend at 8 p.m.? Yes, that means I didn't have to rush with Bond. Okay, no problem. Let's meet tomorrow." I tried rushing off the phone because I knew Bond had been patiently waiting at the hotel. I had to answer his stupid questions before I could end the call. This 4 p.m. date may be a little annoying. He kept asking me what had I been doing, and I gave him the same answers. "Okay, talk with you later. Bye." Great. My 4 p.m. date is rescheduled for tomorrow because he's going to be partying tonight. He didn't say that, but I can read between the lines. And I'm going to have a fun, sex-filled night in a lavish hotel room. And I'm not even going to capitalize on it. I'm in a good mood today. I knocked on the door and Bond opened it. I put my small suitcase down and sat on the opposite bed facing him. He got a room with 2 beds. Yay! We can bounce from one bed to the next, having fun, passionate sex. He had been drinking Remy Martin VSOP. We talked and I poured me a glass of Remy on the rocks. After about 20 minutes of conversation and watching television on the flat screen, I was ready to get this private party started. I poured another glass of Remy and went into the bathroom to take a shower. With the Remy Martin gone, lingerie, heels, perfume, and lotion on, I exited the bathroom. Bond's eyes lit up and he said, "I like." I wanted him to feel the anticipation for a few minutes, so I continued to sit on the opposite bed and asked him for a cold beer. Well, Bond was drinking one, so I wanted one as well. I typically don't like beer, but this one was very smooth and had a wonderful flavor. Finally, I said, "Do you mind if I lie down beside you?" He said, "Sure, of course." I could see that Bond was not going to be the super aggressive type and make the first move. Once I moved over to his bed, within 5 minutes, he was caressing my breast and firmly caressing my wet paradise. He then inserted his finger deep into my paradise and massaged it as my sweet juices ran down the sides of his finger. I moved my hips in rhythm with his finger as we kissed passionately. I always like to make a man feel good when becoming intimate. I want him to feel like he is getting a special treat. I like to be that girl he sees in the porn movies doing all the erotic, naughty, bad girl things that they do. After Bond played with me like his personal kitten, I then wrapped my warm mouth all around his shaft and pushed it to the back of my throat. My saliva was everywhere and he loved it. Was it me, or did the Remy Martin have me drooling down his shaft as if I were thirsty and hungry to be fed, as if I hadn't eaten in 4 days? As I tasted him, he placed his fingers into my dripping, wet paradise as I slurped and sucked and slurped and sucked and deep in and out until he almost released his white milk all over my plump lips. I had only been slobbering on his shaft for 5 minutes, and he was about to release his warm load. He quickly removed himself from my mouth. Bond didn't want to explode just yet. We both grabbed protection. At least we were well prepared. Bond's steel was not that big. I would say he was an average 7 inches. But that didn't matter because the Remy made everything look and feel better. Bond pulled me on top of him and I slid down onto his shaft. I enjoyed the pleasurable face he made as his erect steel was met with my warm, soft, wet walls. He began sucking on my nipples and grabbing my soft, caramel, smooth, double D breast. Bond was in breast heaven, and with every nipple suck he gave, he made my paradise cream like warm milk. You like it, baby? Yes. Suck my titties. I want to fuck you. Bond then flipped me over and came behind me. I knew what was next. I arched my back and crossed my ankles. Bond slid inside my paradise and started pumping me steadily. "Yeah, baby," I said. I started thrusting my plump, round bottom back towards him. Then, the next thing I hear, "Oh, oh, ooh, oh, ooh, oh." I wanted to laugh so badly. How in the hell does a grown man sound like Mickey Mouse while having an orgasm? Wow. Damn. A total of 15 minutes. Bond washed up in the bathroom, and I remained on the bed, thirsty for more. At this point, the Remy Martin and beer had me feeling really nice. Bond walked out, and I told him, "I'm hungry," while I was on my stomach with my head over the edge of the bed. I stuck my tongue out. Bond placed his shaft right into my mouth. I repeated the exact same thing as earlier, but I had to suck him a little more this time, and also rub his shaft between my breasts to also help with his arousal. Ah, yes. Now he is ready for round 2. This time he started from behind me. Well, he started and finished. After a few pumps, I heard Mickey Mouse again. "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." I knew I would not get round 3 right away, so I washed up and relaxed on the bed. Bond was a single father and had to pick his child up from the mom and drop the child off at the grandmother's house. He said he would be back, and he would also bring back some dinner and a fruity flavored vodka. Great, because after drinking and sexing, I was starving. Bond took everything with him, to include the remaining beers. He also told me that there was only one room key, so if I left the room, there was no way I could get back in. Red flag. Is this fool even coming back? Is what I immediately thought to myself. Well, he didn't pick up his Bluetooth on the nightstand, so that was a good indication that he would return. He left the room, and I got very comfortable in the bed with my fluffy pillows and soft sheets as I watched the movie channel. Wonderful. I can relax a little so I can be ready for sex round 3, 4, 5, and 6. About 10 minutes into my relaxing zone, I hear a knock, and Bond walks through the door.
"I forgot my Bluetooth. I was at a stop sign and on my phone, and the cop said I need to be using a hands-free device. So I realized that I left my Bluetooth here."
Bond retrieved his Bluetooth and said,
"Okay, I will call you when I'm on my way back."
This fucking liar. No wonder I stopped talking to his ass. Nothing has changed. This fucking sleazeball. All the red flags were clear now. Some I chose to ignore in the beginning, but fuck it. The cat's out the bag for sure now. Why can't men just be fucking honest? Did you see the red flags? Okay, the first one. Brunch at a hotel. I knew he had more than brunch on his mind. Number 2, a room at a hotel. He supposedly lives alone. His child was with his mom for the day. Why even get a hotel room? We should have just went to his place since he had the place to himself. Number 3, he takes everything with him when he leaves the hotel. Everything? Number 4, he takes the only room key with him. Why not have 2 room keys? Oh wait, the night gets better. The motherfucker texts me all kind of excuses as to why he was stuck and couldn't make it back to the hotel. By this time, I am pissed and I'm happy. Let me explain. I'm pissed because he could have just told me the freaking truth. For goodness sakes, I fuck married men all the time. So don't bullshit me with lame excuses. I'm happy because my happy-go-lucky ass has a free luxury hotel stay for the night. Yes, I stayed all night. I simply placed a trash can in the door when I wanted to leave out. Oh, and room service was high on my agenda. I was halfway polite and text Bond about me getting dinner via room service. He told me yet another bullshit excuse.
You will need ID for room service.
Does this man think I'm a dummy? I've stayed in enough hotels to know that you don't need ID for room service. Obviously, I am calling from the room and I'm in the room when the food is delivered. Oh wait, maybe I broke in and dialed room service? Mr. 007 here is a dumbass for telling that one. So I knew something was up. I went ahead and ordered room service because I was starving. But I was careful not to order the $60 worth of food that I had originally planned. Oh, I was going to run his room bill up. I was thinking crab cakes, filet mignon, cheesecake, but I trusted my instincts and I stayed right at the $14 mark. I wanted to test the water first before I went crazy with room service ordering. Good thing I did. I told the guy who delivered the food to charge it to the room. I sat down and after about 4 bites into my meal, my room phone rings and I hear,
I just delivered food to your room, but there are no credits. You will have to pay.
This married bastard paid for the room using cash. What a fucking lying sleazebag. So I went and paid for my meal. Luckily, halfway through my meal, my Angus burger was pink in the middle and not well done like I had asked for. So I got a whole new entree for free. I made what I could of the night, watched movies, and enjoyed the luxurious room. I slept well, especially since I put the double locks on the hotel room door so no one could enter. I took a lemon and I made lemonade. I turned a potentially bad night into a mini getaway for me. When I woke up, I had coffee, showered, and watched the news. Then I decided, since I have my laptop with me, why don't I write about my experience? So here I am, sitting here in my towel, typing away. Here is a new 2014 New Year's resolution. Always, always, always capitalize on the experience, no matter what. I know that Mr. 007, Mr. Bond, Mr. Disappearing Act will want more of my sweet, wet paradise one day, but he will repay what he did to me in a perks kind of way. Yeah, the hotel was nice, but he will repay in my kind of perks way. Well, let me get the hell out of this hotel so I can go home, relax, and get ready for my date later on. I'm taking everything I can. Soap, lotion, tissue. I would even take this pillow, but I use my check card to pay for my food, so they might charge me if they find out. Ooh, if I would have used cash, 2 of these soft, conforming pillows would be mine. I'll teach that 007. Hey, what can I say? I'm still making lemonade. Visit me at youtube.com/Diary Single Woman for many more erotic, sensual, true audio stories. Also get free VIP access to exclusive stories and more, delivered right to your email. Go to www.diaryofasinglewoman.bravesites.com and sign up today. Yours truly, Miss Anonymous.